Do you find that your factory halogen headlights are less than adequate for safe driving at night? We do too. Even today, automakers are still equipping vehicles with the outdated and inefficient halogen lighting systems. This is typically to reduce costs on base, mid, and fleet grade models, but when compared to the performance of modern day LEDs, halogen is subpar, and I think many would agree there's much room for improvement. So if you're in the dark with your halogens and you're ready to see the light, stay tuned. We're about to get lit. Hey, welcome back to the Gator Overland channel. I'm John, and in today's video we'll be evaluating these AUXITO 80 watt type H11 LED low beam replacement bulbs for our 2015 Jeep Grand Cherokee. I've had the vehicle for a couple of years now and it's been great, but the low beam lighting performance under normal driving conditions at night is dim at best. Constantly flipping between high and low beam just to see safely, and it's been needing some attention. The halogen high beams, they're fine for now, but we'll probably upgrade those to an AUXITO LED in the future as well. Now, your vehicle may not be the exact same vehicle as ours, but there's a good chance your vehicle uses the exact same type of bulb. If not, AUXITO offers various other bulb types with exactly the same lighting specifications as these LED bulbs. So everything I'm about to tell you right now will still be relevant. You have a Jeep Gladiator, Wrangler, Toyota Tacoma, 4Runner, or any vehicle that currently has halogen lighting, there's a good chance they have an LED upgrade for you. Today I'm going to cover the bulb specs, briefly how to install, and then we'll do a before and after lighting analysis using a lux meter to measure the performance of the lighting at different distances. After that, we'll do a before and after side-by-side road driving clip. That way we can see any performance gains with these LEDs. And for modern LED reference, we're going to compare these bulbs to the factory LEDs that came on my 2020 Jeep Gladiator. This is not a sponsored video. This is just me investing in a product and sharing it with you guys in the hopes that it might be the LED upgrade that you've been looking for. For your viewing convenience today, this video is time-stamped, allowing you to go to any point in this video without having to scroll through. Don't forget to check the description below for links to websites for the AUXITO bulbs, as well as my Amazon affiliate link for the bulbs, and any email contact information should you need to get a hold of me for any questions. Let's get started. What's in the box? First of all, we'll make sure it is the H11 type. On the inside, you'll find a set of clean gloves to keep your bulb clean during installation, a surprisingly detailed instruction manual, and you'll have a packet that has some zip ties for tightening up the wiring and an Allen key. And then you have your actual bulbs. Not a bad looking setup here. We have our high-speed fan. You see the driver here and the non-polarity plug. Final fit and finish of everything looks really nice. All right, let's start with performance. The AUXITO LED bulbs and advanced LED chips operate on 12 and 24 volt DC systems. Temperature range of operation is going to be all the way down to minus 40 degrees Fahrenheit to 176 degrees Fahrenheit, or minus 40 degrees Celsius to 80 degrees Celsius. The individual bulb by itself is rated at 40 watts and produces around 8,000 lumens. And when paired together as a set is the advertised 80 watts producing 16,000 lumens, which AUXITO estimates to be over 400% brighter than the halogen bulbs we're replacing. The halogen bulbs are typically a 3000 Kelvin in color, which is a warm white. Some would even consider on the yellowish end of the spectrum. These LEDs are going to be a 6500 Kelvin cool white, which is going to be similar to daylight out in front of you. It's definitely going to be a clearer view at night. Now, as far as technology goes, these have independent drivers that are separate from the housing to keep components cool. The drivers have built-in intelligent integrated circuit and temperature control to make for a bulb that is error and flicker free for 99% of vehicle systems, which is pretty awesome. As far as construction goes, it's made entirely of aviation grade aluminum. It has an IP67 ingress rating, which means it's, not only dust proof, but it is waterproof for a depth of 1 meter for up to 30 minutes. Right here on the back side is a high-speed 12,000 RPM cooling fan to dissipate the heat necessary to ensure up to 50,000 hours of use. That's nearly 6 years worth of runtime, so you shouldn't need to be replacing these anytime soon. The only thing I will add, if we're putting these installed and it doesn't have a dust cover on the back side and you get a lot of off-road or mudding stuff, you want to make sure that that fan is free of debris. That way it stays cool. Now, as far as special features go, we have a one-to-one bulb design, which means the way that it is indexed on there, you can see the LED and the filament is at the same length. That way, when it's put into the housing, it works properly with the way the housing was designed with the mirrors, reflectors, or projectors. That way you have 360 degrees of illumination, a clear cutoff line, no shadows, no dark spots, allowing you to see wider and farther without blinding the oncoming traffic, which is pretty important. Another really cool feature is the bulb itself, with the Allen key that's provided, is 360 degrees adjustable, allowing you to align for the proper beam pattern. This is a do-it-yourself installation, guys. It's going to be little to no tools at all, if anything. Hopefully it pops in just the way it is. The bulb design and the non-polarity plug mean that there is absolutely no modifications to your factory hardware. It also comes with a 2-year warranty. Before purchasing these, I did cruise through and do a little investigation on these bulbs through Amazon. Based on the ratings, it was over 5,000 input ratings, and it came in at a 4.5 out of 5, which isn't too bad. And as far as reviews go, there was over 1,000 reviews. A lot of them had photos, which were very proving, which is nice. I went down to the 1 stars, and there was only about 100 1-star ratings out of the 5 stars option. And I say 100 out of 1,000, that's a 90% chance that these are going to work for us, and anything is better than the bulbs that we were replacing. So as far as that goes, let's get them installed. Since this video is more specific to the AUXITO LED bulbs rather than what vehicle we're putting them in, I'm not going to touch too much on exactly how to install on this vehicle. But I will say, if you have a 2015 Jeep Grand Cherokee or similar models, don't try going through the fender access holes. You'll cut yourself, I promise. No, just take an additional step. Get you a screwdriver. There is a clamp band that goes around the air hose. Loosen that up, pop that off. There's another slide on with a foam hose right here. You pop that off, and the airbox is literally sitting on some rubber isolators. It just pops out, giving you full access to the headlight. Don't go through that fender hole. Same thing on the other side. It is a little bit awkward to get to, not near as bad as this side, but just pulling them out is that simple. Now, before you actually remove the bulbs, go ahead and get your marker out. If you can have access to the back of the bulbs, it was tight for me, but I was able to put a little mark on what is up. The reason why we're going to do that is so we can reference later on. I will go a little bit more in depth on how to actually position these bulbs once you get them out, but that reference to up is going to be needed here in a minute. Now, it's literally a plug and play operation. As mentioned before, it is a counterclockwise turn, removing the lugs, it pops out, and then that will reveal an actual electrical connector on the back side of the bulb. You just pop out the tab, pop it right off, and then once you get your actual new bulbs clocked and everything ready to go, put them back in, and you're done. And literally a 5-minute, maybe under 10-minute operation for some of you if you're less inclined on this. It took me 5 minutes, and I still had to remove the air box, so it's that simple. All right, before we get the LEDs installed, we need to make a reference. So as you can see, we made a reference mark on the back of the bulb while it was in the housing in position. And remember, you have to turn it slightly to take it out because of these 3 lugs here. Now, these lugs are specific to position, and these will only go in one way. You have a square one and 2 that are slightly like a triangle. And if you see right there, reference to up is that lug right there. So if you imagine this going into the housing and turning slightly, that lug is pretty much going to be facing straight up with reference to our mark there. So we'll want to do that onto our LED bulb here. I'm going to take the Allen key, loosen that up. Sorry, I'm doing it with gloves to keep things safe and stuff. But as you can see, what we want with our LED bulb, we want the copper board to be straight up and down while it's in the housing, and your LEDs to be facing at 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock, basically horizontal while it's in the housing. So as you can see, we have our square, just like we mentioned over there, and our 2 triangles, and the one that was to the left of the square is the one that we want to go up. So we're going to line up our thin copper board with that, and going to go ahead and tighten that down. Now, when we put it into the housing and turn it, it should be straight up and down with the LEDs being horizontal. Perfect. Now that we have our LED bulbs installed, the next step we want to do is make sure that they're adjusted properly. Now I know we just swapped out bulb for bulb and they should probably be fine, but these are a lot brighter bulb, and who's to say that the original bulbs that were in there were even adjusted properly. So this is going to remove all doubt. It requires just a few simple tools, a marker, painter's tape, a long screwdriver to access the adjustment screw, and a tape measure. General rule of thumb is to be 25 feet away from a wall on flat level ground, and for your headlight cutoff, the beam, whenever it's projected on the wall, the cutoff line to be 2 inches under the height from the center line of this dimple. There's a little clear dimple here to the ground. It's that simple. You definitely want to refer to your owner's manual or your vehicle. They may have a little bit more specifics, but that should get it done. I'm going to show you how to do it now. Headlight adjustment couldn't be easier. Best time of day is going to be in the afternoon or the evening, or someplace that's shaded and you have about 25 feet of room that is on level ground. First, you want to locate your actual headlight adjustment screws. These are typically on the core support right in line with where the headlights are. First, you'll want to bring the vehicle 3 feet from the wall. Next, you'll put a piece of tape vertically on the wall to mark the center of your vehicle. Then measure from the center of your vehicle over to the headlight reference dimple on each headlight, and then put a corresponding piece of tape vertically to match the headlight center. Now measure from the ground up to the headlight dimple. Transfer that dimension over to your vertical tape and mark a line. Measure 2 inches down from the first line and mark a second line. Then place a piece of tape horizontally on top of the second line made. Back away 25 feet from the wall, a garage, whatever you're using, and adjust the headlight so the top of the beam stops at the bottom of the horizontal tape. It is that simple. Fortunately, as you can see here, we didn't have to do any adjustments. We are good to go. All right, results are in. Who wants to hear the facts? So before I installed the new LED bulbs, I went and did some baseline research. Also, I wanted to hit probably 20 minutes on this video that probably could have taken 8 minutes. And I know some of you are laughing about that, but here we are, and I'm doing some research for you. So I used a lux meter to measure the performance of the lighting at different distances as they were halogens. That way we can compare to how much brighter. They claim it's going to be around 400% brighter. Let's see what they did. So I started out doing the lux meter on the low beams at 10 feet, 30 feet, and 100 feet. And then I did the high beams, 10 feet, 30, and 100. And then I did the swap, and then we compared the new LEDs to the halogens at the same distances. And then for comparison on LEDs, I went ahead and did the same with the low beams and high beams on the Gladiator. And here are the results. So we did the halogen low beams. They were 250 lux at 10 feet, 74 lux at 30 feet, and 9 lux at 100 feet. Then we flipped on to the high beams, and they were 264 at 10 feet, 238 at 30 feet, and 45 at 100 feet. So as far as a percentage difference, they're only about 6% different at 10 feet, but you can definitely see how they start to dissipate out. At 30 feet, you're 22% brighter with the high beams than the low beams. And then getting on out to 100 feet, the high beams still hold on out, and they were 400% brighter than the halogen low beams. Then we popped in the new bulbs, and this is where it gets fun. The new low beam lux at 10 feet is 1,000 lux. Then we go out to 30 feet, it's 160 lux. Then we get out to 100 feet, and it's still 22 lux. The halogen high beams, we already saw that they were 264, 238, and 45 out at 100 feet, which that's only a differential of 23. And I mean, right now we're looking at about 279% brighter at 10 feet than the high beam to the new LED low beams. So as far as percentage increase, we didn't quite hit it, or as far as what our research is, and I did it starting at 10 feet. I'm sure that we could have reached the 400% if I stood right in front of the bulb, but the distance out is where it matters. So as you can see here, I have high lit being the value that we were either to meet or beat to be at 400%. The 1,000 lux at 10 feet came in at 300% brighter than the factory halogens, which that's a 250 less than what it would have required, but that's still 300% brighter than what it was, which is awesome. Now moving on out to 30 feet, it was 160 lux, and that puts us at about 116% brighter than they used to be. And then moving on out to 100, they're 22 lux, which is 144% brighter than they used to be at 100 feet. That's where the difference is. That's that stop sign that's a little bit further out. I mean, just incredible. So for comparison with the Gladiator has an outstanding set of headlights, but these actually pretty close to rivaling it. At 10 feet, the low beam Gladiators are at 1140, so it's only about 100 lux more at 10 feet. Then moving on out to 30 feet, they were 248, and then moving on out to 100 feet, they were 15. So these high beam or low beam LEDs are actually brighter at 100 feet than my Gladiator low beams, which is really impressive. And then the high beams on the Gladiator were 2145 at 10 feet. 30 feet is 333, and at 100 feet was 51 lux. So that's really bright for being the situation, and I mean, we're only talking about a few lux difference between the two. So in the end, they are just an outstanding improvement. They do have a little bit of noise. If you're sitting still, you can hear that fan kicking on, but for the overall, I mean, the gain that we're getting is safer driving at night, being able to see signs, being able to see the road or turns and terrain. I mean, right here, I'm going to show a video clip of us actually driving the LEDs versus the halogens, and it's night and day difference, literally. We have such a wider span of how much we can see roadside, but we're not inflicting on the height of the beam out in front, so we don't have to worry about blinding people. And then right here, we have the comparison of the low beams that were halogen against the LEDs that are on the Gladiator. And as you can see, the Gladiator does have a little bit wider span, and with comparison to those halogens, they were just so dim. It was, I mean, it's not even an excuse, really. They shouldn't even be in a vehicle like that. Or you just ultimately drive slower. But in the end, as you can see here, we have LED AUXITO versus Gladiator LEDs, and they're very similar. Definitely the same Kelvin color and temperature. As you can see, the Gladiator's a little bit wider. But other than that, I mean, I am just absolutely impressed with the way these did for the cost that they are. Hopefully they hold up. If not, we'll use that 2-year warranty if we have to. We're happy. Well, that about wraps things up. We're super impressed with the way these bulbs turned out. Might not have been the 400% that we could prove, but 300% will have to do. And my wife feels super safe at night, and that's all that matters. If you enjoyed today's video, found it informative or helpful in making your decision to upgrade to an AUXITO LED bulb set, give us a big thumbs up. Let us know how we're doing. Share if you'd like. I'd appreciate that. For a heads up on any future installs or adventures, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, notification bell. You can follow us along our journey. Don't forget to check the description below for links to the website for the AUXITO bulbs, as well as Amazon affiliate links and email contact information should you need to get a hold of me. Remember, we at Gator Overland encourage each and every one of you to take a daily moment to unplug and reconnect with the outdoors, even if it's just for a few minutes. Have fun, keep it safe, and just go. Thanks, y'all.